back on My Walking Dead. This is episode 8 of season 11, and I guess mid-season finale in a way, but we're also only a third of the way through the season, so I don't exactly know what it is. It's the finale of part 1 anyway, because obviously we're getting 24 episodes this season, so this is the end of the first chunk of it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do, how things are going to kind of play out and go down. Are we going to lose anyone? I'm expecting some kind of big shake-ups if this is a finale of sorts. We have Maggie and Negan kind of leading their own army of walkers. So I'm guessing we get to focus on that. There's still shenanigans going on in the Commonwealth. We might get focus on that. Are we going to check in with Alexandria as well? I'd like to check in with everyone, really, see where they're all at, since, you know, this is a finale-esque kind of thing, and we're not going to see these characters again for, I don't know, another couple of months, I imagine. Well, not until next year at the earliest. So I'm intrigued to see how it's all going to play out, what's going to happen. So yeah, let's just get into the episode.
Wells, think you can move those rotters?
Yes, sir. I can do it. I've done it before.
Wells can handle it.
Nice knowing you, Wills. Uh-oh. Run to the side while you still can, man. Oh! There we go. It's a hell of a duo, really, isn't it?
You know what Mom said about storms? They're always followed by clear skies. I wish she was here.
Aww. Same.
She did. My enemy.
So dramatic.
He was family.
Yes. This fight God decided.
God didn't send him out there.
Oh boy.
You did.
Yeah. And you keep preaching about killing your men and shit.
He was a son.
Give over.
Courage.
You sent him out.
Volunteers? No. You just got back.
I love her so much.
If she's up for it, we use help.
I'm so glad she's back.
Thank you.
Aw.
Well, then,
Shows that there's no hard feelings for what happened and stuff. That probably means a lot to her.
I'd like to help.
I can use all the help I can get here, make sure nothing gets in.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that he wants to help out.
I can stay with you.
Aw.
What are you telling me about? Not much. Why am I keeping you around?
Plot.
I had this dog named Ted. On account he wasn't.
Oh, great. Another story from Pope.
Just don't try to bite me either. Ted did. Hurt like hell having to strangle that dog.
Well.
They won't get that far though.
Oh, shit. Very well dramatically timed, I'll give him that.
I wish I was more like you. You're never afraid.
Oh.
That's not true. Just like how you can run faster when you're scared. And fight better too. It makes you stronger.
Wholesome.
You know where she went?
Yeah, can you,
I don't.
tell everyone else about
Sorry.
the whole Rick Cleed thing? That would probably give them a nice bit of motivation.
I just wish she was here.
She is. You see her in the way you hold your sword.
She lives in you.
Your mom is still with you. And you can bet that wherever she is, you're with her.
Oh. I hear Wakanda's lovely this time of year. Yeah, why would you do that by the window? What are you thinking? Oh my goodness.
blame me.
Say that.
But yes.
And in every war, there is sacrifice.
Can you sacrifice yourself, maybe?
While we were
No. There they are. Well, that's one way of doing it. Yep. I think it's gonna backfire, but at least they're trying. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Careful now. That would be terrifying, wouldn't it? Leading the charge, not knowing if you're about to explode.
my enemy never gives up. Ready to watch it. What's that?
The what now?
That's how we're going to end this.
What are you doing?
Buying this time.
Oh.
What can I do?
Oh, I smell a badass moment coming. Damn. She's like, I want to be Rosita when I grow up. Well, that's how you do it.
Let's stay away from the windows.
Agreed. Oh, damn. Fuck.
It's hard to watch someone you care about change. When they're hurting the people you care about too.
That could apply to you, little do you know it.
I have to tell you something.
What?
Oh boy.
There's people down there walking with the dead. My people.
Yeah, this is a risk.
Here for the food.
You lied to me.
Protect my family.
Well, yes.
I'm sure you can understand.
But he sent some good in you in the last one, I think, when you couldn't kill that woman.
Oh my. What were you two talking about?
Oh, you know, just betraying you. Uh-oh. There was an attempt. Oh boy. Oh lord, they're coming.
I can pull her out there.
Yeah,
So let's call him back in.
that's gonna be the last straw, I think.
Get killed.
I can't! The Lord speaks through me! You don't question
Sure he does,
the
pal.
Lord. You don't question me!
Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Oh, she really did that. Okay. Nice. I enjoy how the Reapers are shit now, because it's their time to die. Speaking of times to die, well, thank you for finally shutting him up. I'll give you that.
Hope he's dead.
Thank God.
Dixon murdered him.
Oh,
He's with the enemy.
that's a choice. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Why would you do that?
They both have different families.
To protect your family. So would I.
Well, don't think it's going to work out with those two. I do like that they've remembered Lydia is in the show in this episode, though, so that's good. Oh, God. What are you doing, child? Ew. I appreciate Gracie wanting to fight, but should she? Uh-oh. Now Dowell should be like, oh shit. Yeah. Get ready for the fireworks. Oh. Oh, wow, okay. That's it. Right. Oh, I wonder if they'll die. Okay. It's a good episode overall. I think as like a finale for the first bit of the season, I was a bit underwhelmed, I feel like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very, very glad that Pope's gone. And it seems to be a new kind of era for the Reapers. But given how they were introduced and, you know, the first few episodes with them this season, kind of how creepy they could be, how brutal they were, it really does feel like, you know, this episode in particular, they just dumbed it down so we could get rid of Pope and everything like that. And they have just descended into very generic villains for me. To the fact that we're probably still going to get them, but now Leah is just leading them. I can't say I'm terribly excited for it. I think it's better than Pope leading them, because at least there are some personal stakes involved if it's Leah. Because, you know, Daryl has that connection with her. It's going to be a bit difficult for him to navigate that. So that's something. I'm also feeling like, why bother with Pope? You know? He's lasted, like, 4 episodes, and that was it. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the character. I think the actor did a good job. But, you know, it just, his origin episode and stuff, it was just loads of stuff we'd seen before, just for him to be gotten rid of already. I like the idea that he's just so far gone now, so involved in like this fight, that he's just willing to sacrifice his own people when he needs to. Probably never put himself in danger, but everyone else is fair game, and just claim, oh well, it's all God's plan. Was it God's plan when you locked Leah and Daryl in a cabin and set it on fire? Was that God's plan? So yeah, I quite liked that side of his character, and Leah kind of killing him to save her own people. And I can kind of get why that would then lead her to turn on Daryl again. I feel like it was odd to kind of just frame him for that murder, but yeah, it was an interesting development that Daryl like opened up to her, told her the truth about, you know, Maggie and the fact that he's with her and they're his people. They were in that crowd. But now she's just like, thanks for that information. Now I'm going to kill them. But I think she was a bit pissed off that Daryl had lied to her all that time after, you know, so long of them being apart. So I get that, and I get her being a bit pissed at him for that. But it just felt like they were in it together for a minute, getting rid of Pope, and then she just instantly turns on him. Felt a bit like, oh wow, okay, I guess we're doing that. But I can kind of see her motivations and where that all came from. So I am more intrigued with Leah kind of being in charge of things and what that could mean conflict-wise, what she will do. And like, it's going to have to be a different strategy for the Reapers now, because it's not going to be throwing themselves into danger willy-nilly like Pope was doing. It should probably be more like calculated and stuff like that if Leo is calling the shots. So that might make them a bit more of an interesting threat to me again, which they haven't been ever since we kind of quite literally unmasked them, and they just decided to never wear those masks ever again. So yeah, if they'd just been from the very beginning, just like they didn't really have like a distinct leader, they were just this like pack, I think that probably would have worked out better than just having Pope along. And maybe we could have seen Leah kind of take the journey to being like, you know what, we need a leader, it's going to be me, this is how we're going to survive, and then it kind of all serve her from there. And that's kind of where that was building up to, instead of having Pope around. Because he was just there to give really long stories and just say the same things about God again and again, and then die. So I don't really see the point in that character ultimately, to be honest. But at least we do have Leah in that place now. I think that is a bit more interesting. But yeah, I'm hoping the Reapers, or maybe they'll rename themselves. Maybe it's time for a rebrand without Pope being, I don't know. Whatever the survivors of that group are going to be continuing into this rest of the season, because I'm sure they're going to continue to be antagonists. I'm hoping that they'll kind of morph and change a bit from what they've ended up becoming, because I was a bit underwhelmed by them in the end. But I think there is potential there now to change it up, and with new tactics and stuff, that there might be a threat again. I haven't really felt like they're a threat since like episode 3 or whatever it was, when they did the big attack on Maggie and Negan's group and everything, and separated them all. Ever since then, it's kind of just been like, oh wow, you're actually quite basic. So fingers crossed that something better will come from that. Otherwise, let's just stick with the Commonwealth stuff. That's more interesting. But we'll see where it all goes. And I did like, Maggie, Negan, Gabriel, Elijah kind of all leading the walkers in their Whisperer masks, and kind of sabotaging it from the inside. That all coming about, trying to get the food. That I thought was quite cool. And I liked it all coming together. I liked Daryl spotting that they were there and then helping them out in his own subtle ways. And then deciding to take that risk and telling Leah the truth. Kind of backfired, but what can you do? It probably needed to happen, otherwise they would have just, killed all of his friends. And in telling Leah, he did also save some of the Reapers that would have been killed as well if Pope had just launched that thing. So it was cool that they had that. The final effect of it, like going off, just the fireworky sounds and stuff, and it like flying towards the camera. I don't know if I find that ridiculous or not. It was a bit funny. It's also kind of a shame because they're not going to die. It'll probably have like the firework things will paint like a perfect silhouette around Negan or something. It'll just be like Negan shaped marks on the floor as it's like just missed him perfectly. Because they're not going to kill any of them. If anyone, they'd kill Elijah probably in that kind of moment. But I'm not even sure they're going to do that. Because Gabriel's still in the compound, isn't he? Kind of shooting people. So he needs to get out of that situation. So I'm sure we'll get some focus on that. And they're not going to kill Daryl, Maggie and Negan. Certainly not in that way. So it does just feel like cliffhanger for cliffhanger's sake. They could have done something else maybe. Maybe have ended it on the walkers getting into the house that Judith and everyone's trapped in. Because there's more room, I think, for people in that group to die, other than literally the characters that you always get on Walking Dead merch and posters. But again, it's a finale of sorts. They needed to have a oh no moment, but also we know they're going to be fine. It'd be a huge surprise if we lose, either Negan, Maggie or Daryl to Leah shooting some fireworks at them. I'd be very, very surprised. So we'll see how it plays out, but it's just a bit like so that side of things was all very well. I am hoping we'll get a bit more focus on like the Alexandria stuff and the Commonwealth stuff in the next couple of parts of the season. I don't want it to be all Reapers all the time. Because I think they've kind of shown that they're not interesting enough to carry as much screen time as they've gotten. Probably would be a bit better now because we're not going to have Pope spouting all his BS all the time. So we'll see where it goes. But I liked all the stuff in Alexandria with them trying to keep the walkers out with the awful, awful weather. I'm guessing we're going to follow like Aaron and that team that went off maybe in a future episode and see what they got up to, because we didn't really catch up with them after that, which I did find to be a bit of a shame. And like the group of like Connie and Carol and all that who went off, we didn't really spend any time with them. It was just Judith and everyone in the house still. So maybe that's going to be something for the next episode to cover, or as long as we see it, I don't really mind. But still, it's nice to have Connie back and to see her kind of go off with Carol. I think it meant a lot to Carol that Connie did want to like be on her team and like work with her. So I think it kind of shows like it wasn't your fault, no hard feelings about what happened in the cave, and that seemed to be quite moving to Carol. So I liked that little moment. So we'll see what happens with that. I like that Virgil seems to be settling in with the group as well. He like actively wants to help, and I liked him comforting Judith about Michonne's departure and everything. So he's come on leaps and bounds. Like, that development for Virgil, just in a matter of episodes, has been really, really great. So I'm happy to kind of have him around. That was all really good. And I liked Judith kind of trying to keep everyone else calm, giving Gracie a weapon to fight with, and Gracie being like, oh, I want to fight like you, and you're so brave and stuff. And Judith just saying, you know, I've learned to kind of channel that fear and use it to make myself a better fighter or whatever. So I like the little moments with her, because Judith is an absolute bloody badass, and we know this. And her wanting to kind of help join in the fight as best she can. You know, she's just a proper little fighter, and she's kind of like, she's the future. So I liked the focus on her, and her stuff is really great. I mean, Gracie's a bit of an idiot. Sorry, Gracie, but you are a bit of an idiot. I'm going to be the super brave warrior, and then train right next to a window with loads of gaps in, with the walkers walking past. Like, well done, Gracie. So that wasn't her finest hour, but I do like the side of her that wants to get involved in the fight and wants to kind of better herself a bit and be a warrior. So maybe we're going to get a bit of that. They also had a bit of a moment with her and Aaron when they were saying goodbye, being like, oh, why can't you just stay? And Aaron's like, well, I have to do what I expect, you know, what I would ask others to do. I have to do myself. So I don't know if that's going to come back to haunt them at some point. But, you know, it was interesting to get a bit of focus on Gracie, a bit more, suspiciously more focus on Gracie than I think we've ever had, which that's what makes me nervous about that whole situation. But I do like that she's willing to fight. And yeah, I think that the most successful tension probably more so was like the fact they had loads of landmines outside that the walkers were kind of walking in, and at any moment Negan and Elijah could have been blown to bits. I mean, it wasn't going to happen because it's Negan, so they would have been fine. But I like when they did get a bit blasted by some shrapnel and they were a bit injured and stuff. I kind of wish they let into that a bit more, of them trying to like maintain their composure and still pretend that they're walkers. Like, if maybe someone had spotted that they were like doing that, or like they were clearly like injured and holding their wounds, and that could have led to some more conflict there maybe. Yeah, Gabriel just kind of snuck in and got in his position. Thank God he didn't bump into anyone who was just like preaching and like praying or whatever, because he would have just spared them because reasons. So yeah, we had everything with that, and I really liked Rosita's kind of badass moment when she went out and like, I'm going to buy her some time, and she just takes them all out like it's absolutely nothing. That was really cool. And the shot of her coming back into the room when she like knocks on the door and they just open it up, she's there. That was a really nice sequence. So it was cool to see her get a proper badass moment like that. That was one of the standout moments for me, I think, in this episode. But yeah, I think that's basically everything I want to talk about. But as an episode, I thought it was quite good. As a finale for the first bit of the season, I was a bit like, yeah. You know, we know the ending's not going to be that big of a deal because something's going to happen. And they've already had cliffhangers where Maggie's in danger, literally in the first episode of this season. So, you know, how many times can you really do that? And to also have someone in danger who's getting his own spin-off show again. And fan favourite character Negan. So yeah, there was that. And I am still kind of sad at how it ended up with the Reapers. I feel like there's a lot of potential with them that just ended up, they just got quite generic in the end. But I think with Leah maybe leading the charge, there could be some room for them to do something a bit more different and exciting. So I do like that development. I'm glad Pope's gone. Don't know why they even bothered with the character, if I'm perfectly honest. But, you know, he's out of the way now. So there could be some interesting conflicts there. And I do kind of buy into Leah's reasons for doing what she was doing, like killing Pope and then turning on Daryl. Maybe a bit soon to turn on Daryl like that, but they just want that conflict between them, I suppose. So, yes, will be interesting to see how that all plays out, because we know they're going to be fine. So I am excited for the Whispers, the plot twist, the Reapers under Leah's lead, and hopefully that will kind of make them a bit more interesting again, like they were in those early appearances. And then yeah, everything in the house in Alexandria I enjoyed. I like the Judas stuff in particular. Virgil was also great, and Rosita's badass moment was a lot of fun too. So it had a lot of nice moments in it, but I do wish it packed a bit more of a punch as like a mid-season third part through the season finale, because I'm not really like, oh, I need to know what happens next, because they're going to be fine. But overall, yeah, it was a decent episode to a very solid first third of the season. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the second half, and of course the third half. Third half? No. The second third and the third. God, this is confusing me having all these extra episodes this season. But yeah, because it is funny now, like coming into the second part, it's going to be like we have the exact same number of episodes left now as we'd been used to for the past few years of seasons. Obviously, the bonus episodes not included. So yeah, they've laid a lot of nice groundwork, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. I hope we get a lot more Commonwealth stuff in the next part of the season. We got a decent chunk here, but I was hoping to get more of that, maybe less Reaper stuff. And I was hoping to also see some of that in this finale, but we didn't get it, which is, it's fine. But yeah, we haven't really lost anyone huge this season. Obviously Pope, but not a major character. And then all of Maggie's friends who were literally just introduced are like all dead now. Alden might be dead, but ever since we left him, we haven't actually checked back in with him, so God knows what he's doing. Hopefully he's having a nice chill time. But yeah, overall, I have very much enjoyed this first part of the season. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the next part when that airs next year, I believe it is. And yeah, we also have World Beyond. Season 2 is still airing now, and I think Fear is back next week as well, so that should be fun. Because Season 6 was excellent of that, so I'm excited for Season 7. So yeah, the fun never stops in the Walking Dead verse, it would seem. But yeah, overall, solid episode, maybe a not so enjoyable kind of, or at least not so standout episode as a finale for a part of the season. But, that's just me, and it was still a good episode, and I'd rather that than a bad episode, which is also then a bad finale. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the rest of this season, but until then, thanks for watching.